Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to SFR. This is Division 2 for Round 7 here at the Singapore Grand Prix. My name is Indigo, and it's going to be me tonight to take you through the action here around SFR to see what happens around the streets. The first night race in Formula 1, which came about in 2008 when this race was first introduced, and it's held some quite exciting few races, it must be said. We've seen some decent races as past history as Veloci Jr. goes off the track at the exit, the pit lane exit. But I don't think that'll matter much, but we'll see. It'll definitely have an effect when it comes out the pit lane during the race. Maybe pick up a potential penalty, but it'll get away with it in qualifying. There's his teammate, the man that finished P2 at the Chinese Grand Prix, trying to hunt down, I think it was the other way around, sorry. It was Veloci Jr. trying to hunt down Burmeister towards the end. It was. So Veloci Jr. was the man that tried to hunt down Burmeister to take his first win of the season. He wasn't really happy that him and his teammate wasn't really working together to try and get the best possible result, because RB were in the best hot seat, it must be said, to try and get the win, because they had both cars up there. Both teammates could have worked together, but only one of them got the podium. Neither got a win, as Yusuf fell backwards outside the top three. I think Yusuf, at the end, he finished in P4 ahead of Mr. Joker. We know Mr. Joker and Yusuf worked well together in qualifying and the race as well. So those two are more teammates than Veloci Jr. is a teammate towards Yusuf as well. But so far, the man to keep an eye on is Burmeister. Burmeister, another win in his belt. In his back pocket again. The Dutchman continues to extend his championship lead. Fantastic drive so far for Burmeister this season. It must be said, he's been very consistent with his results. Let's exclude the Belgian Grand Prix, because in Belgium he was sick. He did fall down the stairs, as he said, in the commerce box. We're seeing Yusuf now on a flying lap as he heads towards turn 5. But Burmeister, after last season, he felt he should have won the championship, but didn't turn up for every race. And you know what they say, you got to be in it to win it, and Burmeister missed a few, and therefore didn't take it towards the end. Owen Mansell missed one race, but in the results, you can clearly see that Burmeister had more wins as well in comparison to Owen Mansell. Owen Mansell was there when he needed to and scored the results, and the gap was only a few points in between Mansell and Burmeister last season. It was ever so close, and looks like Burmeister so far this season has got a comfortable lead over the guy in second place, which is Veloci Jr. in P2. And Veloci Jr. as well, also to watch out for, because the last 3 races in Austria, Belgium and China, he's shown some really strong results. He hasn't got a bit scruffy in the last few races, especially in the first race of the season, but he's definitely picked up some form so far. Both RBs have, as Neymar is currently P3 in the championship, is the Mercedes driver, but unfortunately finished 16th, so got shuffled backwards. But Veloci Jr. has retired in the pit lane. Laser, welcome mate, how you doing? As Yusuf now makes his way towards the final 2 corners of this race circuit, and it is going to be pole with a 26.669 as he's the first man to cross the line. But behind him is Joram, who goes up into P2 in the Haas with a 27.0. Klusler goes up into P3 now, also in the Haas. Caspino goes towards third place as he splits both Haas. Mr. Joker up into P3 now with a 27.2. So blistering pace from Yusuf in first there to take pole by about 0.4 of a second, as we see all the competitors out there also the flying lap on the track, as we see Mansell dive down towards turn 12 as we exit now. Nice traction there for Mansell. Usually it is very easy to lose the back end of the car, because it is you arrive there, brake so hard, and you're get on the throttle at the same time all at once, and it's just the dirty air in the race can really put effect. The old tyres as well, the tyres overheating in that particular part of the track. It's one corner where I do struggle, especially when it comes to racing. Qualifying's not so bad, but also when you arrive there, you brake at the same time, so it can very easy to snatch your wheel going in towards that corner. Mansell goes up into P6, and Mansell, we thought the season, the defending champion, has had a lot of work to do so far. Him and his teammate have joint points. They are both on 76 points, and also Yoram's on 76 points as well. So Lord Brother Top G's 75 points, and Adam's 71 points as well. So it is super close, it's super competitive. It's in towards the lower end of the top 10 in the championship. Mr. Tiger Bucher goes into P3 in the Red Bull. He is a full-time driver, and he has finished in, I think he finished did he finish outside the top 10? I think he did on that occasion. I think he finished in P9 at the Chinese Grand Prix. No, he finished 11th, sorry, the Chinese Grand Prix, because he just missed out on the top 10 to Takibuka. But decent qualifying so far to put himself into P3. Takibuka and Lord Danny Boy. Lord Danny Boy, when he first arrived here in SF4 Division 2, it looked like he found his form back. He looks like he was more comfortable, more relaxed, more focused and quicker. But the last few races, it must be said, from the former Division 1 driver has been a little bit disappointing on his side there. Not really finding his form. And at the Austrian Grand Prix, he did a fantastic job to fight with Burmeister, to hunt down Joram to take the win. But Joram kept him at bay until the last lap of the Grand Prix, as both Mercedes, though P6 and P7, as Zenum is up into P5 in the Ferrari. Both Ferraris had a double disaster class back at the Chinese Grand Prix and the race before as well, because I think it was Mr. Joker who filled in for Emils, and I think somebody else filled in as well for Zenum at the last race, the Belgian Grand Prix, because I think Zenum had a qualifying ban and also finished in 18th place as well. But he did take the fast lap of the Grand Prix to Zenum. But both Ferraris, unfortunately as well, I was expecting more from both Ferraris, it must be said, because I thought they learned from mistakes from last season. I thought they have the upper hand as well, but it seems like they're still struggling so far in this stint of this game. But Zenum's up into P5, so decent result for him. As we see that Lord Danny Boy and Mercedes driver are quite close. Lord Danny Boy is not a flying lap. He did invalidate on his lap time then, so somewhere on the course of this track has invalidated as he makes his way back in the pit lane then. So there's 8 minutes left to go in this session, and so far 2 people, including Lord Danny Boy and Michael Wolf, has not set a lap run just yet. Of course, the lap record then around this track has changed, because I think Kevin Magnussen held the lap record around here, as I think he did take the lap record in 2018, didn't he, when he pitted for a brand new set of softcore power tyres. Held it for a long time, but got taken away by Daniel Ricciardo. But Daniel Ricciardo, if you remember as well, back in the Singapore Grand Prix, pitted for a brand new set of softcore power tyres and take a few points off McLaren versus Red Bull as well. But here we are then towards the final seconds. We've got Oliver now, who missed out at the last race in China, as Takibuka was the man that suited took his place as well, as we make our way down towards turn 1, turn 2 and turn 3. This can be very tricky corners because they lead in one after another. You can be very quick in terms of reactions, adaptabilities, as now we make our way towards turn 5 we go. So you can see it just rotates the car. They're getting close to one of the exits as you want to do, with the DRS wide open then. And this is the main place to overtake going down in towards turn 7. He's 69 hundredths up in the first sector as he takes a bit of curve on the inside. Now heading towards this right-hander we go. Nicely drifted in there. Logan Sargent, I think, crashed there, didn't he? Or was it another Williams who crashed there? Or could have been Logan Sargent, I'm not quite sure. But yeah, it was. In 2023, I think Logan Sargent caused a safety car, and it completely ruined Red Bull's strategy, didn't it? Because I think they were going for the Ultra strategy, but the safety car came out too early, and it ruined their race as well. It was one of the only races in that year that Red Bull did not win, was at the Singapore Grand Prix in 2023. Imagine if they won every single race. As here comes Oliver towards the end of the middle sector, up by a tenth and a half. Let's see if he can keep it going throughout the remainder of this lap time. Oliver looking to try and get himself inside the top 10. Him and Burmeister have been working really well together so far, but our championship leader Burmeister is down in P10. As Ruda says hi in the chat, Oliver is making his way back towards the pit lane. Look at this. So Haas are orchestrating this slipstream. Klusler and Joram working together then, and Klusler will get the benefit of the toe. But is he a bit too close, especially in these corners here? Because like that, he'll lose the back end of the car. But the reason why he lost the back end of the car is because he took too much curve on the inside in towards turn 3 and unsettled the rear then. So lost a bit of time, but could he gain it back on this straight with the DRS wide open, using the battery as well for good measure as we make our way down towards turn 7. Joram's on the lap time. Klusler improves by a few hundredths of a second there, but a bit of a slip up in towards turn 3 have definitely cost him a lot of time indeed. But still, sticking with this lap time and see what he could do throughout the remainder of it. Let's see if he's clean or not. But Joram in front of him. Let's see if he's improved by a few hundredths or a second there. But look at that. Had to lost the back of the car as he slides, as he hits the wall. going down there in towards the old Singapore sling then, so a bit untidy for Yarl, unfortunately. So Clouser, unfortunately for him, will not have the benefit of the DRS going down the next two straights. DRS is not enabled on the fourth straight. I think in actual F1, DRS is enabled, but not in this game, so hasn't really had that feature yet. But there has been an update in this game in the past. I say the past, about a day ago, but I don't know what it was about, maybe some BS or whatever, but Mansell goes up into P4. Remember, Mansell won the Singapore Grand Prix last season, as here comes Clouser towards the line. He goes, or stays, or goes up into P12, one place better than his original place, as Lord Danny Boy is still looking for a lap time. Mindful Wasp is also looking for a lap time too. Mr. Joker has invalidated, but look at that, look how close it is between Yusuf and Mr. Joker. A few hundred separate those two. A mighty lap times indeed, with Tiger Buka in P3 doing a mighty job for Red Bull once again, as Mansell gets demoted down into P5, because I think Tiger Buka just moved up into P3, as Adams now puts his McLaren up into P6 as well. So great qualifying from the Scotsman once again. A popular character indeed is Adams, a runner-up in the championship last season, a man who's picked up a few wins as well, and also lost a few wins in his time racing in SFR due to post-race penalties. Zenum as well, not too far behind in the Ferrari with a 27.2, just a few hundred shy, or a few thousand shy of Adams and P6. Our championship leader Burmeister is in 8th place then, so a bit off the pace is Burmeister, but we know qualifying is not really suited towards him. He does go better in the race simulator trim, so I think that's where he could thrive again during the Grand Prix. But you know what they say, it's not about where you finish. No, it's not about where you start, it's about where you finish, is it? Yeah, I think that's the phrase. But Alex Copo then out of turn 5 as he flirts with the wall and the barriers to the outside there, gets away with it. As we make our way down towards turn 7 we go. Have we seen anybody hit the barrier so hard they got a puncher in the past? Was it Kevin Magnussen who picked up a puncher there? Alex Copo taking a bit of an excursion off the racetrack there. He was 3/10 with the first sector. That's a mighty first sector by 3/10, but could have lost a bit of time with that mistake in turn 7, and also brushes the barrier, and now headed towards the corner where George Russell crashed back in 2023 when Carlos Sainz took a fantastic victory ahead of Lando Norris and Lewis Hamilton, where both Mercedes pitted under the VSC. What was the VSC cause for? I can't exactly remember that. But I'm not quite sure. Was it Kevin Magnussen? I just have that gut feeling where Kevin Magnussen just scraped the barriers and punctured his tyres. It could be him, or Esteban Ocon broke down, but I'm not quite sure. Anyways, we make our way now towards the next few corners, as we make our way now towards what would have been the complex in towards the bridge as well, where it follows on, but obviously that third set has been removed, so less corners, better for the drivers. Alex Copo towards the line now. It's a 27.1, and he goes up into P7 just ahead of Adams and behind Mansell. So it was a decent lap time. I did see him lose back in the car a little bit, so the car is complaining on balance, but still up there. Zenum, however, in the Ferrari, much better attempt there from the Norwegian driver in P4. So having a better time here in Singapore in comparison to the Chinese Grand Prix. And he's currently set a 26.9 there, so he has joined the 26ers along with Yusuf, Mr. Joker and Tiger Buka. But majority of drivers are in the pit lane, then we're just waiting for the final stages in qualifying before everybody slaps on a new set of soft cold power tyres around here. I do like this track. I mean, the old layout was a bit boring for me, not a bit boring, but in the game it's a bit difficult because the tyres would overheat significantly in the final sector. Slow speed corners with hot tyres is not good at all, and I do miss the older days as well, where drivers like Sebastian Vettel, Mark Webber would just brush against the barriers at the exit of turn number 21. I think there were 23 corners before the new layout, but this track has improved and we've seen some fantastic races. Also Sebastian Vettel, the 4-time world champion at Formula 1, took his last victory here as well in 2019 after undercutting his own teammate of Charles Leclerc. But of course, the most memorable, come on Jamie, try and say the word, memorable, I can't even say it, but you know what I'm trying to say, the most, yeah, let's just skip that word, but obviously the most, trying to think now, trying to find another synonym for that word, because I can't say it for some reason. Yeah, most unforgettable race that we all know was the 2008 Crashgate. Back when Nelson Piquet Jr. smashed his car into the wall, caused our purposeful safety car, and Fernando Alonso went on to win as well. Just a second, Dan, let me give you an invite right now. But once again, oops, let's hope I got you as a friend. Who's this? Both Hassers are orchestrated to Slipstream as well, so watch out for them. Let's see if it goes well this time. Have they swapped cars, or is it the same order as the last time? We're about to find out anytime shortly now, but let me just give Dan a look at that McLaren in the way. Who was that? Was that Mr. Joker? Mr. Joker has just came out of the pit lane in front of both Hassers then, so that's not going to go down well with the stewards there if Yarlum or Pusler decide to appeal that, but look how far back he is. He is so far back that Haas has been compromised. Mr. Joker has not been paying attention whatsoever. And the Haas will not be happy. Frustrated rightly as well. Mr. Joker might take a bit of pain towards the next race because I think that he'll pick himself up a penalty as well. So Klusler is not happy as they go side by side now, but hopefully he keeps it nice and clean. So elsewhere on the track, go back over board with Yoram, who's further up the road. A much better, cleaner attempt this time. I'm trying to find a way to invite you, Dan. So let me just request to join me, mate. But Yoram is temped down in the middle sector there, so he has lost a bit of time in the middle sector. Can he gain it back, though, with 4 corners remaining on this racetrack? 4 difficult corners indeed, as we make our way now towards turn 19. But locks up and loses the back end of the car as well, so he is very frustrated with that going down towards there. As he heads back in the pit lane right now, does Yoram. It is a much shorter track. I remember the lap times being in the 40s at one point, but now it's down towards the 26s, so it is much getting shorter and shorter each bit. As who shall I go on board with here then? If it lets me, Yusuf. Let's see what he's doing. He's a few hundreds up in the first sector. Is Yusuf. Mr. Joker is on lap time out of turn number 3. Here comes Yusuf down towards turn number 13, I believe it is. As I'm trying to remember all the corner numbers around here because it has been changed and altered in the past. But here he is then, as he makes his way down towards the right-hander, following immediately towards the left-hander we go. Clipping the apex is very nicely there, being very patient with traction, just narrowly avoiding the wall on the outside. Coming towards the last 2 corners we go. Here comes Yusuf towards the line, and he improves. No, he doesn't. He stays in pole, but does not improve his time. Mr. Joker, however, is on a better lap time as we make our way towards the old Singapore sling we go. Let's see if he can keep it nice and tidy here. Mr. Joker's on a much better lap time as we make our way now under the Anderson Bridge, headed towards turn number 11 we go. Can he keep it nice and tidy? He does, but lose the back of the car on the exit as he fights for traction, headed down towards turn 14 we go. Let's see, look at that, up by 2 and a bit tenths up in the middle sector there as we go towards the corner where Lando Norris almost crashed the car as well. So Yaram, Mansell has finished their lap times. Mansell does not improve, but Mr. Joker now is coming towards the final few sections of this racetrack, turn 17 and the turn 16. Now coming towards the final 2 corners we go. It's turn 18 and turn 19. Mr. Joker is about to take pole, which he does. At 26.5 there for Mr. Joker as he occupies first place. But Zenham, here he is. Oh no, Zenham has invalidated unfortunately as he will stay in 4th place. Adams, look at that, mighty lap times from Adams in the McLaren. Goes to P5 as Lord Danny Boy, cuts the beam and sets a 27.000. Alex Copo goes to P4 in the Mercedes then, as all 16 drivers then have completed a lap time except the man who has a qualifying ban, which is Velocio Jr. down at P16. But Mr. Joker is on pole like he was at the Austrian Grand Prix a few races ago, ahead of Yusuf in P2. And Tiger Bucher, what a qualifying session from him as well. Did you see that? P3 and P4 just set the exact same lap time as each other as well. So, such fine margins on a difficult racetrack. Look at that, P3 and P4, Alice Copo and Tiger Bucher have set the exact same lap time, and the rest drivers follow through. Zenham P5, Adams in 6th place ahead of Lord Danny Boy, Yoram P ahead of Mansell, Neymar P10 ahead of Burmeister. Burmeister, the championship leader, suffering here at the Singapore Grand Prix. It's not everybody's favourite track, So let's see, can he come back strong in the race? Caspino P12 ahead of Michael Ross, Klusler, Oliver, and Apologio Jr. Now, let's see if I could try and invite you, Dan. I might have to do something, so just bear with me for a few seconds. The formation lap is on, so you won't be missing any action. But what I could tell you is that qualifying was very crucial because it is raining on the circuit. Rain has impacted this race, and we could see the conditions might affect a few drivers depending if they keep it nice and clean on the track. Let me try to do something, but for some reason, just can't do it. How do you invite somebody to a group? I have no idea, but I don't think I'm an admin in this group chat, so I'm not quite sure if I'm allowed to add you or not, Daniel. I'm trying to get you in this group chat. Of course, it's just me on the commentary box tonight, so try and enjoy this Grand Prix with just only me commentating tonight, because Simba couldn't make it once again. How do I add somebody? Yes, there we go. Okay. I finally figured out how to add somebody to a group chat on PlayStation. Yes, it took me like a few years, but we should be dandy in a few minutes' time. The guy's going to hate me for this, but I got to do it. That's the only way. So as you can see now, it is rain on the circuit, and this should be interesting. It is the intermediate conditions. The last time we saw rain at the Singapore Grand Prix, it didn't go well for a few drivers, did it? Because I think that Sebastian Vettel, Max Verstappen, and Kimi Raikkonen came to blows in the first few seconds of the race when they all crashed into each other. All three of them went out, and so did Fernando Alonso. Fernando Alonso had a mega start for once in that McLaren Honda, but sadly got taken out. And I think on that day it was Lewis Hamilton, Valtteri Bottas, and I think, who was it? Daniel Ricciardo, who finished the podium that day as well. I think it rained through majority of the Grand Prix, but cleared up towards the end, as the race should be going underway soon. The formation lap will be going underway soon as well. Unfortunately, I did mute myself, so I was talking about a lot of things, but I muted myself, so yeah, a bit disappointed there. But just to summarize what I was talking about was Carlos Sainz's amazing win. And also, I don't know what you heard, the last thing you heard about me, but I also mentioned that in 2017, that start between Sebastian Vettel, Kimi Raikkonen, and also Max Verstappen. What a fantastic start from Kimi Raikkonen, but it was three wide, and both Ferraris hit each other. But Verstappen was in the middle, and Verstappen got wide side again in turn one with Kimi Raikkonen out of control. Then Fernando Alonso lost it too, after he had a massive shunt from the guy behind from Max Verstappen. So yeah, that was a big shunt indeed. Lewis Hamilton won that race despite a very difficult qualifying, because historically, this track hasn't worked out for Mercedes. It's usually a Ferrari track or a Red Bull track, but Rosberg has won in the past as well. Lewis Hamilton's won it a few times in Singapore. But the lights are about to go away very shortly. Then let's see who has a very good start going down towards turn 1. Can Yusuf get the jump on Mr. Joker down towards turn 1? Can anybody else get a line to start? Will it be hectic going down towards turn number 1? We're about to find out in a few moments' time. There are the lights on the panels. And the signal is go. We are underway. Foot to the floor. And look at that. Yusuf gets a much better start. But in the second phase, it looks like Mr. Joker has kept in control as we head down towards turn 1. Alice Copo trying to sneak around the outside. Bert has Zena for company on his outside too. Going down in towards turn 3 we go. As it looks like a very clean start so far. Nobody really making contact. Going down towards turn 5. Zena's on the defensive there. Gets put into an offline offense move. As we can see that Atlas Copo now is right at the back of him, going down towards turn 6 and turn 7. Look at these cars so close behind each other. Look at Adams looking for a move down towards turn 7 in the braking zone, but Atlas Copo is just a little bit late to the break. So Yoram is trying to take advantage now, heading down towards turn. There's contact between those guys as they all bunch up, going down towards the slow speed corner. Adams remains in P5. Yoram has muscled his way up into P6. Atlas Copo now has been demoted down into P7 after trying to force a move, but unfortunately got shuffled backwards. And I do believe Energy Dan is here with me.
Good
Hello, mate.
Evening, Jamie. Yeah, that was a really clean start by Division 2 drivers. Really impressed by that. But yeah, it's great to be here, mate. And a wet start as well. Ooh. As we see Mansell trying to go on the inside of Atlas Copo. Didn't quite make it off, but he is going to tuck in behind him. But yeah, it looks like a really clean start there, Jamie. So really impressed by the Division 2 drivers.
I am as well. Easily could make contact going down towards turn 1 because low grip levels, high fuel as well, and you don't know what the conditions are like because obviously it's had a dry qualifier session unless, of course, people have done practice.
Sorry, Mansell's all over the back of Atlas Copo. He's really pushing it. He's got the pace. He's obviously got the pace. Atlas Copo's now dropped behind it. He's got the move done, and he's now got to chase down Yaham and that leading pack.
Mansell did win around here in Singapore last season, but started further backwards in qualifying. He's up into P7 now, ahead of Atlas Copo. Poor Copo, he's dropped down a few places, started in P4, now down into P8. So horrendous first start there for Copo as he finds Lord Danny Boy right behind him as well. But it looks like it's the battle between Yusuf and Mr. Joker because those two are close together as Yusuf gets a massive oversteer out of turn 5 as he skirms away trying to hunt down Mr. Joker. These two are good friends, of course. They came 1-2 at the Belgian Grand Prix, these two.
Tiger Booker, just noticed there, mate, on that straight, he lost a full 2/10 just down the straight alone. I don't know whether that's because of a setup issue or tyre pressures, but yeah, down the straight, he lost a lot of time, and he's bleeding more time now. It looks like he's got about 75% battery, but he needs to kind of get a shifty on. He can't lose ground to these front two drivers of Joker and Yusuf, because if he loses it, he's going to drop back, and these guys will run away with it.
Indeed they are then. So Tiger Buki is struggling just a bit there in the Red Bull as he tries to get used to conditions. Right behind him is the Ferrari driver Ozidi, who's got Adams and Yoram for company as well. Adams looking for his first podium of the season as well after being denied at the Belgian Grand Prix. But look at this, Yusuf and Mr. Joker right at each other's tails there. These two were very competitive back in Belgium. I think Burmeister just got ahead of Michael Walsh. He puts himself into P10, the championship leader down into P10, really struggling. But look at these lines that Yusuf is taking. Good evening, Martin. You've got demoted down into Division 3, so hopefully you're doing much better in Division 3 where it's more sort of your pace as Yusuf sets the fast lap of the Grand Prix as he continues to hunt down Mr. Joker. I think you're on mute, mate.
Oh, sorry, mate, yeah. So Tiger Booker is now 2.1 behind Yusuf, and he's got Zenon, Adams, Yaham, and a little bit behind Yaham Mansell, all breathing down his neck. He's really struggling for front-end grip, that's what it is. If you look at his next corner, look on the front-end grip, he's struggling for front-end grip big time. Let's watch him now.
Which one, Mansell?
Sorry, Tiger Booker. Yeah, he's really struggling for front-end grip. He's got no front-end grip, that's what it is. So Tiger Booker is not in a good place right now. He's got no front-end grip whatsoever.
Yeah, look at that. As you can see there, massive oversteer as well. The car just reluctant to turn in as once again, Yusuf is right at the back of Mr. Joker as well. These two played a fantastic strategy back in Belgium because if you remember, those two went from west to dries. I think they went from west to mediums, I think. So what a fantastic strategy from those two on that day, thinking a long term ahead as well. Knowing, oh, here comes Adams down the inside. It's so tight going down there in towards turn 13. Tries to go for a move, but couldn't quite pay it off. This is another big chance for Adams to try and claim another podium because, Danny is going to get it towards turn 14. He's going to make it stick. He tries to, bumps past him. Who can get better exit? It is Adams who muscles his way up into P4. It could be a double McLaren podium soon.
Yeah, and I'm just looking at that gap again. You know, it's 3.2 seconds, mate. Tiger Booker's certainly been the cork in the bottle here. If Adams can push on, I think he's definitely on for a podium. But he's going to have where's Tiger gone? So, where's Tiger gone?
In the pit lane.
Why is he pitting?
Mediums.
What? Oh, he's on mediums! Oh, mate, I'm so sorry. I didn't even see that. That's why he's struggling. Oh, my God, I didn't even see that, mate. I'm like... Right. Okay. Dumbest commentator moment of the season goes to me there, because I didn't even know he was on mediums, mate. I do apologise there.
It's all good, but DRS has just been enabled. Even though it's still raining, it's still top of the track. DRS, the stewards have confirmed that it's still safe to have the DRS open. So Tiger Bucco unfortunately picks himself up a 10-second penalty after speeding in the pit lane. But he's on the mediums right now. It could be a better tyre. These guys who pitted onto mediums are hard, but it is still very early in this Grand Prix. So I think the people on medium compound tyres right now have to pit again towards the later end of the Grand Prix because they can't go towards the end. Surely not.
Oh, sorry, yeah. I apologised before, and I thought he was on mediums, that I was slow, but he's gone from intermediates to mediums. So, right, okay. I don't understand why he was so slow on the inters. It's a bit of a mystery, that one, because I don't know. He's a quick driver, so I'll be intrigued to know why he was so slow on the intermediates. But what do you think Mr. Joker and Youssef are going to do out front? Oh, Tiger Booker hits the wall coming through the Anderson Bridge section. Let's see if he's got damage. You carry on, Jamie. I'm going to have a look if he's got damage, mate.
So the top two have decided to stay out there, but I wonder if the guys behind, I think about pit stop. Mansell is in the pits as well, so fastest lap for Adams as well. He's really flying around here in Singapore. He finished in P2 last season when he finished behind Mansell on that day as well. But a few more guys pitted to go onto the hard or medium compound tyres. The hard compound tyres might be a bit of a stretch, but Zenum is on the hard. Mansell is on the medium compound tyres. So that's a two-stop strategy for him because those mediums will not make it. But Youssef now flies past Mr. Joker as he puts himself into first place. But I wonder if these two now are going to pit, because if they don't, I think the guys behind might get a jump on him. But despite those guys pitting quite earlier in the Grand Prix, I don't think the undercuts really happened for Tiger Bucco down there P15.
Yeah, Yaham made the right call coming a lap earlier than Mansell, because Yaham's just jumped Mansell by about a second. And just to confirm, Tiger Booker does have wing damage, front left wing damage. He hit the left-hand side of the wall on the right turn before the Anderson Bridge section, so he's got damage. And round here, when you're running 50-50 wings, that's going to be significant. So I imagine Tiger Booker is going to try and wing it out for a safety car, or he'll come in immediately. So we'll soon see.
That's the second pit stop there in a row as Blocho Jr. is now scrapping away from Mindful Wasp, but Mindful Wasp slides around the outside on the outside of turn 9 there. Decent move from the Alpine driver. Next target is Neymar, but we've got a few guys splitting on medium compound tyres and on hard compound tyres as well.
This is interesting, Jamie, actually, because there's two strategies here I can see. The medium to medium, because you're only on lap 5, so you've got 26 laps left. That's a pretty even split, 13-13. Which about 13 laps is about what you want to do on the mediums. So they can do a 13-13 and have much... Oh, contact with Mindful Wasp and Burmeister. Oh, they got a bit of a side pod connection and just went into the wall together. Mindful Wasp has got major wing damage. Oliver also has wing damage. So yeah, unfortunate for those two, they connected. But what I was saying is, mate, the medium strategy could work. But the hard tyre can literally do the entire race. You'll lose about 2.6 seconds by the last lap, gradually. But yeah, medium could be a good shout for these guys if they've chosen the right tyre allocation.
Let's see then. They should have the balance allocation if they want two sets of medium compound tyres. But as you can see, the top two of The Burmeister's got ahead of Zenon, puts himself into P5. Much better race for Burmeister after difficult qualifying as he usually does. Started down in P11, now up into P5. But Yarm is on the podium up to P3. But Mr. Joker is right in front of me. You can see that the mini compound tyres are working better on this damn track here. The tyres are more fired up, more grippy. As you can see, Yarm is looking for a move on Mr. Joker, who is really struggling so far on this hardcore power tyre. He just came out of the pit lane with Yusuf as well, so hence why he could be struggling, just trying to find that temperature, but under massive pressure from two people behind on the better medium compound tyres. So he squirms away out of the corner. DRS enabled. Is I'm looking for a move down the inside. Oh, what's going? Oh, he almost lost the car. Oh, it's on! No!
Contact!
Oh, my goodness
me. Mansell. Oh, that's unfortunate. But yeah, I don't know if you've got the full track map enabled on your screen, Jamie, but if you look at it, for a Division 2 race, this field is stretched out much, much farther than I would have imagined it would have been. Difficult start in the rain, obviously strategy calls, incidents, but this field is really stretched out. You know, you've got a full lap to Tiger Booker, and you've got about 2 or 3 drivers that are about half a lap, and you've got a quarter of a lap between 7th and 10th, and then obviously the front 7 are kind of like 10 seconds between each other. But so this field is really stretched out, and it's not normal to see around a track like Singapore. You know, you'd imagine these guys would be maybe 1 or 2 people out of position, but this full field is out of position by what's happened with the rain and the tyre choice incidents. So interesting to see what's going to happen. I imagine Yusuf is going to go all the way to the end on these hard tyres, which is possible, by the way. In Division 3 last night, me and Wiggles, we did 23 laps on the hards, and this still felt really good. The hard tyre around here is really, really good. Even though it's a tight, twisty track, it's not that punishing on tyres, especially on the hards. Softs, rubbish. Mediums, not great. But the hards, for some reason, are amazing around here. So I believe Youssef Shabak will be going all the way to the end on these hard tyres.
I have seen a few people stretch their hardcore power tyres towards the end, including me as well. I had a race around here not long ago, had to take the hards towards the end because I think the mini compound tyres started to give up the ghost in the early few laps. It was a safety car, so I had to pit very early to go on the hardcore power tyres. But still, like you said, the hards felt amazing as Yusuf sets the fastest lap to Grand Prix, now replaced by Mansell. Mansell's got some incredible pace. He had a disappointing qualifying, as Ellie is in the chat supporting their man Mansell in P2. Mansell is hunting him down. The gap is 1.6 seconds. 2 former championship rivals close together on the track. Mansell versus Burmeister, but Burmeister has a massive lead in the championship, with Burmeister also having the better of him in the last few races as well. But Mansell's absolutely flying. Could it be his second win in a row here in Singapore?
I don't know, Jamie, because I'll be honest with you, what I just said about the double medium strategy and then the hard strategy, it's a difficult one. The hard tyre, it all relies on the people like Yusuf, Zenon, Adams, Atlascopo, Klauser, even in Voice AB. It all relies on them dropping off in the later stages of the race, and obviously the offset by the medium runners having to stop again, because there is absolutely no way they could stop again and not stop again and be competitive. I think who was it in Div 3 that did 21 laps on mediums? I can't remember, but yeah, one driver did 21 laps on mediums and he was very slow. You know, so it's literally a heads-up competition on the double medium stop and the hard all the way to the end. This is going to be the crux of the race, and I'm very intrigued to see what's going to happen. I suspect Yusuf is going to be in a better position. Zenon and Adams may get podiums. It all depends if Mansell, Burmeister and Yaham can make the medium to medium work, or extend the medium, go medium soft, but the softs are rubbish. So this is my thinking of the race unfolding as it stands.
I agree with you as well, because the pit lane loss is huge around here. It's huge around here. So can they make up that deficit when they go onto a brand new mini compound tyres? But I don't think these mediums. Yeah, it's too much of a bit of a stretch really for these mediums to go to the end. Yes, they can, but you'll be on puncture territory, so I don't think it's worth it. So they have a massive pace advantage, but it depends how much on the brand new mini compound tyres.
Oriu Glass was the driver that did 22 laps, I think it was, on mediums. technically a Division 4 driver, but couldn't really make the Division 4 time, so he's in Division 3. So he's a slightly slower driver, but he did 22 laps on mediums last night.
22
and
laps mediums.
I said it during the race in our party that is puncture territory. You know, you're getting towards it, definitely, especially on the rear right tyre.
Oh yeah, for sure as well, taking a lot of punishment. But Adams, who pitted, I think, last as well, was up into P6 on the hardcore power tyres. He got undercut it massively as well, so he's trying to make up for the lost ground in P6. He was running in P3 at one time, but just stayed out there a bit too late, and he's right behind Zenom as well in the Ferrari. Zenom's doing a decent job so far, unlike at the Chinese Grand Prix and in Belgium as well, where he's had a few spins now and then, but he's up into P5 in Singapore. Singapore's a difficult track, so he's done really well so far to keep the pressure soaked up behind Yoram and in front of Adams, on Oliver out behind as well. Oliver on his return up into P7 in the Williams on the medium power tyres as well. So I'm just intrigued, about the strategy play around here. Obviously, safety cars will maybe come out, but who knows, because we've been really lucky with safety cars recently, not coming out to interrupt the race. But let's say if the race doesn't get interrupted,
on an overtake on Zenon. Sorry, mate. Adams overtaking Zenon. He's approaching the next section, which is towards the Anderson Bridge section, and he's done really well. He's got 2 more turns before this tight, twisty section. Adams is making really good headway, and you've got to remember, Yarham, Burmeister, Mansell all have to stop again. So Adams in a really, really good position for P2 here, in my opinion.
I agree with you as well, but let's say if the safety car doesn't come out, uninterrupted race, if the race keeps flowing like this, then the people have to pit again. If they do want to pit, Mansell, Burmeister, Yoram, Oliver, but if they don't pit, then I dare say the likes of Adams will catch up massively, have a massive pace advantage of the offset of those hardcore power tyres, will be much better in terms of tyre level as well, tyre wear. So even if they don't pit, they'll be in trouble, because Adams and Cena will approach the scene as well later on in the Grand Prix. But when they do pit, how much of a deficit to make up? A big deficit as well.
I'll be telling you now, mate, if I was in Adam's position, I'd be smiling. Me, I love this track. It's my favourite track. It's the track I do most well at. I would be really smiling if I was in Adam's position right now. If I can see, I think if he's Adams, he can see 2 people in front. So he can see Yarm and Burmeister. He can see that they're on mediums. I'd be smiling. I don't think if he knows that Mansell's on mediums, because you only get 5 people, and he's the middle driver, he can see 2. He can't see Mansell. If he can work out if Mansell's on mediums, that's my race. Happy as. I'd be just looking after these hards, making sure that my pace is just not quick, but solid. That's all he needs to do. He don't need to be quick, he just needs to be solid. And I'd be happy. That's my opinion on the situation, mate.
And consistent as well, because we know the penalties can have an effect as well during the races. It's very easy to pick a penalty, but yeah, I do like this track. I've had good results around this racetrack. I remember in 2023, as well. In the last few games, I've had some good results, but on this game, it's not really been my strongest either, because any track on this game hasn't really gone well for me at all, because the handling model hasn't really suited my driver style either. But as you can see, Adams is catching Yoram as well. The gap is 1.7 seconds, so we can see the Haasman in front of him very shortly, as a few people in the chat. Good evening to you all. How are you all doing? As hopefully you enjoying this race. Not much action, but it is a strategic race. I think it's a high speed game of chess, it must be said. As look at this, Yoram slowed down. What's going on here now? As he's caught up to the back of him. Good evening, Miranda. Good evening, Ellie. Good evening, Rhoda. Good evening,
Jamie. He's got about hello to the chat. He was on 20%. He's about 30% now, judging by his steering wheel graphics. He's basically harvesting, and I think he's going to be pressure now coming from Adams. I think Adams is going to get this, mate. He's really close. He's gaining. He goes to the left, goes to the right, and he's through. On the outside, he's going to make it work. Oh, there's contact. Yes, I think Adams gave him enough room there. I think Yarham just went a little bit deeper than he should have done, knowing that Adams was there. But no harm, no foul. That's racing. They both made it through, but as we just see Oliver getting past Zenon, was it? Oh, big changes coming in the midfield now. Oliver pushing the hell out of Simmons' back door.
And Yoram was doing a big mistake at the Anderson Bridge, so he's definitely losing grip on those mini-comp power tyres. He made a big mistake in the final corner because he wasn't harvested. He lost over a second and a half on the final corner alone, so he must have had a massive slide. Out of the corner, Tiger Bucas retired in the pit lane, so no safety car to interrupt this race as we continue
What? You mean
racing once again.
the quickest guy in Division 2 has quit? What? Really? Sorry,
You think he's the quickest guy?
He does.
Oh, yeah, I understand now.
Right, so anyway, Oliver, Yaham, Zenon. This is a pretty good battle in the midfield, to be honest with you. It's probably the closest battle we've got on track. Just let's quickly look. Yeah, Yaham. I think Oliver's in a good position because he's got slightly better battery from the looks of it. It's whether these mediums are going to last out. He's been on these mediums for 8 laps now. Yam 9 laps, and Zenon is only been on those hards for 8 laps. So I think Zenon's might be playing the clever game here, and just keeping these guys behind and not really pushing too much, because the longer these guys sit behind Yaham, sit behind Zenon, is the worse their tyres get. Someone's got to make a move. There's a bit of a stalemate, really. I don't know what you think of this situation, Jamie, but I think Zenon's in a great position. He's only 2 seconds behind Adams. If he can keep Yaham and Oliver behind, that's sort of securing his race finish in a way. It is a battle that he's contending with.
Yeah, I agree as well. Zenon's done an amazing job to keep these two behind. Very pivotal for his race as well, because knowing that those two will have to pit against with the Midicon powered tyres, and he's going to have a hard time catching up. But the battle for P2 is spiced up between the two championship contenders from last season, Owen Mansell versus the Dutchman of Burmeister. The battle for P2 is spiced up because I noticed that Owen has lost a bit of time towards Yusuf. The gap was like under 2 seconds. Now it's 3.7, because you can definitely tell the crossover point has started to happen between the mediums and the hardcore powered tyres then. So the mediums giving up the juice rather early in this stint. As we know, the medium powered tyre is not really a good tyre, but they got to pit again for sure, as Lord Daddy Boy gets past Caspino, who picks himself up a 10 second penalty in this Grand Prix as well. So here we are then, the battle for second on the track, but it could be, well, let's see what happens towards in the Grand Prix. Adams and Zenon are my predictions for a podium, unless Yorm decides to change that. He's always going up the inside towards turn number 7, but has to back out of it for the time being.
I'm just looking, Jamie, and I think lap 20 is in the pivotal moment of this race. Judging by the tyre life and strategy available, lap 19 to 21 is going to be where we're going to see the biggest changes in this race. And furthermore to that, about lap 29 is when you'll see people slotting into their true position, in my opinion.
Yeah, the race ended in positions because so far they're not really in their classified positions, because we know that people in the field have to make it to the pit stop, and if they don't make it to the pit stop, they're going to fall backwards. Now, I do notice about the fuel situation on some people's cars. They have underfueled the car as well, so some people could be in trouble. I noticed even on lap 2 or 3, the yellow light warning's on the car as well, so a few people might be in trouble, including Adams, Owen Mansell as well. A safety car, surely people think this.
Just why, mate? Why do people underfuel? In my opinion, there's no need to underfuel on this game. The fuel model is broken. It doesn't matter if you have 4, 3, or 2.5 laps over fuel. It doesn't equate to negative lap time. Come.
Contact into turn 7 then, so Mansell late move there to go across the left hand side as he blocks off Burmeister, but makes a big mistake out of turn 7. He almost spun and hit the wall, did Owen Mansell, cost himself a big chance for a podium too, so needs to keep it on the track, but also defending from Burmeister. His tyres must be getting old. He might be starting to feel the effects of the Midicon powered tyres wearing off. We know that Burmeister's tyre management is really good as well, helping him to chase after Mansell. But Adams should be licking his lips, because he can see these two fighting and struggling on these Midicon powered tyres, so it brings him closer and closer. But plus, he's dropped Cena. Adams is in a really good place so far in this Grand Prix. He could secure his first podium of the season. There he is in the background, exiting turn 13, just on his way.
Yeah, I mean, it's what I said about the medium and the hard strategy. The medium guys are going to struggle. Mansell and Burmeister are going hard at it, and fair play to them. You know, they're going for it, and that's great. But Adams, they've got to pit again. Mansell and Burmeister have got to pit again. So you've got likes of Adams and Zenon that are nipping at these heels. Yusuf, I think he's Yaham 360 time penalty. I think Yusuf Shabak has sealed this win I think he's going to go to the end. I would. Obviously, I did until the rain last night. I think you've got the likes of Adams and Zenon that might be P2, P3 on track right now. With Oliver kind of at the situation that Atlas Scorpo could potentially be within that P4 range. I think you've got Atlas Scorpo, maybe Oliver is kind of like the crossover point between the front runners and the back runners. I think Atlas Scorpo is the person that you've got to look at in terms of the split strategy. Is he going to be behind any person on the mediums that has to pit? That is where I'm at with the crossover point. Anyone in front of Atlas Scorpo that's on mediums, they could slot in behind, in front of him at the finish line if they make the medium strategy work. That's kind of where I'm at right now, Jamie.
Indeed, as well. What is the pit lane loss around here? Because when these guys eventually
28.
go... 28
28
seconds?
seconds. Yeah, 28. It is. It's a slow pit entry, and it's a very slow pit exit. I think it's 28. It sticks in my mind that I'm sure it's 28 seconds. It's quite high. Yeah, I'm sure it's 28. I might be wrong on that. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure it's quite high at 28.
So, these two are entering the pit lane now. Burmeister and Owen Mansell getting rid of these mini compound tires. There's contact there, but only minor. Thankfully, not enough to cause a broken front wing then. So, this is pivotal. Oh no! Zedam has picked himself up a 3-second penalty. Could that be crucial towards the end of these guys on the hard compound tires? So it's not medium, but it is hard for both of them.
So, intermediate, medium, hard. Okay. Yeah. I mean, they've got to go to the end on those. That's good. But they don't have the pace advantage that the mediums would give. 17 to 31. What's that? Is it 17 laps? Or is it 16 laps? 15 laps?
Oh.
No, 14
dear.
laps. Yeah. I'd have gone on mediums, mate. 14 laps on mediums with half fuel. All day long mediums, mate. All day long. But it does matter what tyre allocation they selected before qualifying. This is the thing. I never, ever select anything other than the availability of two mediums. Always. Just because no matter what you start on, if you start on mediums, you have an issue, you go on hards, you get the mediums to finish. If you start on mediums, you go to the hards, you have an issue, you get the mediums to finish. You know, that combination is there. I always, regardless of track, I keep the ability to have two mediums at my disposal. And that is a fundamental rule I have in my racing. I always want two mediums available. I don't know what you think about that, Jamie, but that's my fundamental 101 rule of racing. Always have the two mediums.
I've been screwed over by doing a hard strategy because only one set of mediums and two sets of hards,
Exactly.
and somebody's made a mistake. But whilst you were talking there, as the yellow flag has disappeared, Owen Mansell has had a big mistake at the pit lane exit, so I'm not quite sure what happened to him. He must have hit the wall and he's lost his end plate. So Mansell was following Burmeister out of the pit lane. He's going to go for it, is Mansell, not pit him because he didn't want to waste any time. So any chance for big points or a podium has completely faded away now as Mr. Joker's under massive pressure from Yoram.
I would
puts himself into
say
P9.
he's 35 seconds from the leader, you know, which is 14 seconds from P3. 14 seconds on fresh hards. Let's call it 1 second a lap delta difference. You know, you've got pretty much 13 laps left. That's 13 seconds. Plus you got to overtake. I think that's Mansell not getting a podium. That's my quick maths. 2 + 2 = 2. Quick maths, if you know the song. But yeah, I don't think the equation's there. I don't think it's there for him. Unless something happens, I don't think Mansell's getting a podium, mate.
I think the end result is going to be Yusuf, Adams, and Zenum. But how quick is Burmeister going to be? Has he got a huge pace advantage? I'm not quite sure if he can catch up, to be honest with you, towards Zenum.
Yeah. Again, that's 35 seconds from the leader. 31 seconds from the leader. That would be 13 seconds from P3. 13 seconds from P3 with 22 laps to go. Possible, but unlikely. That's bearing in mind that the delta is going to get lower. He's going to get quicker. They're going to get slower. It's going to be tight. If anything, Burmeister will attack P3 on the last lap.
Plus, that Zenom's got a 3-second time penalty. Can Zenom, for the first time this season, get a podium? Or can Burmeister, with about 13 laps left to go in this Grand Prix, catch up towards Zenom as Klusler goes around the outside in towards turn 7? They both cross the track, does Burmeister, in towards turn 7. I noticed that a few times. He's got a bit wide out of the corner as well, just misjudged the braking point, but he's on the better hard compound tyres. The gap towards him and out of Scopo is 6 seconds. I think it's still a bit too much, to catch up towards Zenom, unless Zenom picks up another penalty or spins, which I hope he doesn't do.
Yeah, like you said, man, I think Burmeister's in a stronger position here. He's in a really good position, to be honest with you. Lord Danny Boy, 15 lap all hards. Klauser, 15 lap all hards. They're going to start getting attacked by Mansell very soon. He's only 1.3 behind his Mansell. Mansell's got some big effort to put in here. He's going to get positions. That's guaranteed. He's going to make positions. But how many positions can he make by the finish? By that checkered flag.
Also, he's struggling with that broken end plate as well, so he doesn't have the grip in the corners like he wanted to on those brand new hard compound tyres. He's right behind Lord Danny Boy and Klausler as well in P6, the Dutchman, defending from Danny Boy, the former Div World driver, and Mansell last season's championship behind as well. Klausler scored a few podiums last season as well. I remember one of the Dutch GP, and Caspino has retired in the pit lane, and no safety car will happen either. So all the retirements have been in the pit lane. Mansell gets past Lord Danny Boy as he puts himself into P7. Next target is Klusler right in front.
Youssef Shabek, my God, mate. Look at the gap. That is impressive. This has got to be his favourite track. There was a President Elite in Division 3. He was miles above the rest. Some people have favourite tracks. It might be the case. But yeah, Youssef, wow, what a pace round here. He's in clean air though, and he's been in clean air for a very long time, which is very good round here. If you don't have to fight, if you don't have to defend, being in clean air round here with a nice clean battery is very, very beneficial. Very beneficial.
He has not put a foot wrong ever since the start of the Grand Prix as well. When he got past Mr. Joker in towards turn 7 in the wet conditions as well, Mr. Joker really struggled for grip as Yusuf was able to fly away, pit at the right time, pull away, and he hasn't looked back ever since. He's got nothing to worry about unless a safety car comes out within about 10 laps left of the Grand Prix. Remember back in 2013 or 2011 when Sebastian Vettel's lead was wiped out because he built up a massive lead. Then the safety car came out, ruined it, but still won the Grand Prix because Vettel was very dominant that day.
Just on board with Mansell is all over the gearbox of Klauser. He can see it for breakfast, mate. He's going to get the overtake done because he's got DRS and a good battery. Moves to the left, coming down. He's going to do through the dog leg, and he's got this inside line done. Brakes nicely, hits the curb, he's the outside curb, and he's done. That is it done. So Mansell up into 6, and he's on a charge. Next one is Burmeister. A little bit more difficult. Nearly 6 seconds ahead. Can Mansell make up this point? This deficit? It's difficult. You've got 10 laps left. That's a big gap to make, Jamie.
Indeed, especially with the broken wing as well. As Burmeister now puts himself into P4. The chase is on. It's Burmeister versus Zenom. Zenom disadvantaged himself by picking himself a 3-second time penalty up. So the last spot podium is going to go towards Burmeister or Zenom. Which driver is going to be? We know Burmeister is on much better hardcore power tyres. As Zenom, you can see the gap going down increasingly as well. So I thought Zenom would be secured in P3 until that penalty came around. If it wasn't for that penalty, I don't think Burmeister would have caught him. Maybe just though, but of course with that assist, Burmeister is on the hunt.
Yeah, I'm just looking at these times, mate, and the likes of Youssef, obviously he wasn't dominating in China. He was fighting for position. Is it a case that street circuits are better for some people and not for others? Because like myself, Obviously, we all know I like street circuits, Monaco, Canada, Singapore. Is this a Youssef track? I think it is. You know, he's 11 seconds. He's been dominant all race. He's been really good. And I don't think you can really use Singapore as a gauge of pace in divisions, because certain drivers are really good at street circuits, and I think Youssef Shabek, he's a street circuit guy by the looks of it, because he's been dominant from the get-go. What do you think, Jamie?
Judging by Belgium as well, Belgium, he's been really strong as well with Mr. Joker. So I think, like I said, Yusuf is really good at trials like this, where he's able to take it by the hands and grasp his opportunities as well. But he's always hit the wall in turn 3. He just understeered into towards turn 3 and almost hit the wall. So that could be very nasty indeed. Not a race-ending move right there for the man in first place. But I do remember as well, when I've had some decent races, that when I've dominated races, I do make mistakes. I've lost a few races because I've not paid attention, because I think, oh, the guy behind me is about miles away. So I just switch off and just drive. Then all of a sudden, I break myself, I hit the wall, and lose concentration. That's what happens to me, and it's really frustrating because you've run a decent race, then all of a sudden all your hard work is undone because of a small, stupid mistake. The gap's under 10 seconds, but it shouldn't do any damage for him.
Yeah, see, I like what you're saying, mate, because I actually do really better at tracks where you have to be committed 100% of the time. Things like Monaco, Canada, Singapore, even Baku, even can't think of the last one. But yeah, they keep me thinking. I get bored at tracks like Monza. Oh, go on.
Yeah, Zeno spun. So Burmeister is up at a P3 now.
Oh, wow. Zenon, is he going to get going? He's got Alice Scopo all over the back of him. Is he going to make this move stick? He's going inside, he's going through. Has he got damage? Has he got damage? He let go then. Yeah, he has. Right wing damage, mate. Right wing damage. That is going to really affect his ability to turn fucking left. So Zenon, what's he going to do? Stay out or go for softs? Zenon's going to be really disadvantaged here now. He's got a full right end plate gone. And, oh, no, contact between Mansell and Zenon. Oh, so yeah, he's coming in. He's going to go for softs, I think. Zenon's got to put the softs on, definitely.
Yeah, just saw Oliver in the background just overstays the wall, the exit of turn 17 as well. But what a shame for Zenon, who had a big chance to score on points. Maybe not the podium because Burmeister was catching him at a rate of knots, but a big mistake like that, once again, has fallen himself outside the top 10. So that's it really. There's not much going to go on from now to the end unless a safety car comes out and it plays one of the Joker cards out there to bring a safety car. But I think if a safety car doesn't come out, there should be the results. Mansell will catch Atlas Copo on better tyres, plus Copo's got a recent contaminability. Will he be disappointed though, because the chance for a podium was there for Mansell, but when he came out of the pit lane, he hit the wall immediately, lost touch with Burmeister and lost his own play as well. So will he be kicking himself knowing that a potential podium was there? I think you're mute again, mate.
Sorry, mate, I was. Yeah, I really like what you said there, but I think a lot of drivers made a massive mistake on their tyre choice on the first stint. That's where it was lost. We saw it. You know, there were intermediates to start, and a few drivers went too early, and the drivers that went on mediums, and I said it very early on, the drivers that went on mediums are going to be in a bad position. You know, the likes of Youssef, Adams, you know, Alice Scopo up there. Burmeister's probably the only person not in that realm. He went a little bit later, but you can see what's happened in the strategy. You know, the guys that went to hards after the intermediates, they're doing really well. Apart from Klauser, is the exception to the rule.
Yeah, in P9 there is the Haasman. But it's been a very quiet race so far, as Mansell does get past Atlas Copo. We've not really seen many battles for the lead of the Grand Prix, but it has been a strategy race, this one. It's all about, after the inters, who was the better tyre at the right time. And like you said, it's the people who pitted on the hard compound tyres to go towards the end. They were the ones who made the right calls. People who did hard to well, into hard, no, into medium and hard as well. That's a very bizarre strategy. I thought I would have went on to into hard, into medium, because maybe didn't have two sets of mediums at the disposal. That's probably why. But as you can see, we've got a battle going on here between Michael Wassingham and Neymar and Velocio Jr. as well. I haven't really spoken much about these guys either down here, but contacts made between these two as they bang wheels going down in towards turn 7 now, going towards 8 as there's more contact as well. So getting very messy for fighting for the last place, it must be said, as Neymar goes through once again.
Yeah, just looking at the map as well, Jamie, it's really strange. If you go to Youssef on the full track map, and then go back to Adams, and then go back to Burmeister, they're so spread out. 1, 2, and 3 are so spread out. It's unreal, and it's 20 laps, and 9 laps, and then even back to 4th with Mansell. You know, these guys are so spread out. There's been a massive strategy call for all these drivers, but it's evident now that what they did has affected their race. It's so spread out. But normally you'd see, 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5, maybe even 6 drivers within that front pack. There's such a spread between the front 5. You've got 9 seconds, 8 seconds, 10 seconds, and then Yaham to Mansell is getting pushed now by Yaham. But that spread between 1 to 5 is unnatural. It just shows how difficult this race has been. Starting on the intermediates, people that don't like the wet, or setup issues, the tyre choice when the rain stopped. It shows you just how much the rain plays a massive part in these races.
Yeah, I agree with you on that one as well, because the rain played a massive part. It only lasted for about 3 or 4 laps as well, and even now we had a big field spread because we saw the likes of Tiger Buka, who really struggled on those intermediates. Even in the early stages of the Grand Prix, the tyres were just dying off for him. He had no grip at all, like you said, just understeering massively. The car just reluctant to turn in, so the rain definitely plays a factor. It shows the driver's skill set as well, who has got the best skills around here. But Alex Copo spun in turn 16 and 17.
No! As you were saying about Tiger Booker, and it is, I don't want to single him out, but he does run medium TC in ABS, and in the wet, medium TC is atrocious. It's horrendous. I never used to be a no TC user, but I've got used to it the last 2 seasons, and if I went medium TC on a wet track, I'd be shocking. It's so bad. Full TC is different. Full TC you can just put on the floor. But medium TC, it's a little bit difficult. I much prefer being no TC in the wet conditions. And I know Tiger Booker is kind of in between going from medium TC to no TC. So I understand where where his issues came from. It's like going from pad to wheel, and then back to pad, back to wheel, back to pad. You've got to stick with it, He's got the pace. Tiger Booker's got the pace. He needs to turn it all off and get used to it. Because I think next season you'll probably see Tiger Booker, if not winning Division 2, fighting in Division 1. He just needs to turn all those assists off and get used to it. Because at the minute, the TC and the ABS, it's not good for him. Obviously people need assists, but at the same time, you need to turn them off and get used to driving raw. Because if you rely on those assists, the tyre wear's higher, the temperatures are higher. That's my opinion, by the way. But, I think he needs to turn those off. That's where he struggled tonight, in my opinion.
Yeah, the only assist I run is line, because I'm not very good at paying attention to the whole race about no racing line. But Mansell's about to make a move on Yoram. You got past him again as he puts himself into P4, because Yoram overtook him in towards turn 1, I think it was, as Mansell puts himself into P4. But in the comment section, we've got Ruda, who says, I'm driving no TC. ABS for me, no problem. Racing line for me is the hardest to master. Yeah, so it is for me as well, because you got to pay attention 100%, because unfortunately I'm on pad, so it's a bit harder for me to do no racing now, because obviously you need to get it absolutely spot on, the accuracy, the precision, the speed through the corners as well, the braking points, the acceleration. It's just the racing line is very important. But virtual safety cars come out, guys.
Oh wow, that's late. That's late. But yeah, while this virtual safety car's happening, yeah, I kind of agree with whoever commented on that. And whether you're a pad user or wheel user, it's irrelevant. That line is the last thing you take off, and it has a whole new, maybe TC, ABS, it's probably 60%. That last 40% is the line. It's so hard to remove that, because as much as the line is beneficial to me, I don't follow it. It's a guide,
Yeah,
I don't
exactly.
follow that line is bullshit. It really is. Whatever EA think is the right line, it's wrong. So the braking zones are wrong. It's just a guide. I never follow the racing line as it's depicted on the screen, because if you followed the racing line, you'd be slow. It's just a guide to see where the corners are, and fully admit, full respect to anyone that does know line, because that takes a lot of practice. I, for one, Jamie, I don't have enough time to practice. I maybe do about, I'd say, 3 to 5 hours a week to prepare for one race. I don't understand how these guys in multiple leagues can do multiple races, because I get skill fade between races. I've got to remember from last season what I did around China. Oh, that's where you turn in, that's where you brake, that's where you brake shit, then that's where you trail brake, and blah 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 blah. And for me, it's a long process to relearn a track that I did less than 6 months ago. So it's a big learning process. Some people can do it. I can't. I can't just turn up to a race and race it. I've got to learn the track the week I'm doing.
Yeah, me too, mate. I got to. Wait, have I just seen something? Wow, well, that's a bit late. That's a bit late to come. But something else has joined us today, and it is Rain. So Rain is back, ladies and gentlemen. But there's only about 2 more laps left to go in this race.
That is interesting, mate. That is interesting. However, I think we're pretty safe to say U6 is going to win. Adams, P2. Actually, Burmeister's getting there.
Yeah.
He's getting it on fresh hards. He's got a lap to do it, but I don't think it's close enough, mate. He might be getting 1.5 at the line. That's about it.
Oh, Manso sliding out of turn 5, but the Rain is hitting the circuit massively as well. So these people might have to survive in the last lap, because the Rain is coming in very quickly as well towards the last stages of this race. So it's all about survival. Nobody can afford to take any risks. But I tell you what, though, Burmeister is gaining on second place. So Burmeister is catching there with his better hard compound tyres against DRS. Has been disabled then, so it's classified as a wet circuit.
It's not enough, though. It's not enough. I think it's 3 seconds, Jamie. I don't think it's enough. It's coming down, and it's coming down a lot, but in a 1.3 laps, it's just not enough, mate.
Oh, Adams almost lost the car there, and he almost lost again. So I think Burmeister might do it, because I think Adams is struggling for grip as well. So yeah, you say that the gap is big, but you never know about the tyre situation, how Adams can control the car.
No.
He's gonna. Oh no! Adams has got a 3-second tyre penalty, and Burmeister will take away P2. But why is Burmeister pitting? Burmeister is pitting.
Why? What? 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 Why? What?
Here he is then.
I'm sorry, what? For intermediates, right, for one lap, he's got Yaham on his tail. Is Yaham going to overtake him? Yaham overtakes him. What are you doing? I'm lost for words. Why?
People
was he puncture territory or something?
He shouldn't be.
He wasn't that far.
He was on much better tyres. He was like 14 lap old tyres.
I'm sorry, I'm going to swear now. What the actual fuck?
I'm not sure what's going on here.
What were you thinking? What?
Do you know what though? The Rain is hitting the circuit massively, but I don't know.
It is,
I have no idea.
I've got my. Is he gonna do this? He is. He's gonna do it, mate. He's gonna do it. He's absolutely aced this, mate. Look at this. Look. Oh my God. He's done it. He's in a P3. He's absolutely smashed it out of the park. I can't believe I doubted him. That is amazing.
Oh my God.
Right. I'm sorry. That's driver of the day. Automatically.
To cut you off, we got Yusuf, who's about to make his way towards the final two corners, tiptoeing towards the line, almost lost it, but here comes Yusuf to win for the second time this season. Fantastic drive, very dominant indeed. And Adams, who almost lost second place, but kept it after the strategy from Burmeister. Adams is about to make his way towards the final two corners. He will come across the line to pick up his first podium of the season. Fantastic race, as Burmeister has lost the podium. Clark, he was being sarcastic, mate. But Burmeister would have got a podium because he was on much younger tyres. The gap was 3 seconds before he pitted.
Wow.
Adams picked up a 3-second time penalty on the penultimate lap. Oliver is up into P5 as well. Great race for Oliver in P5.
Burmeister's call for intermediates there was monumental.
Well, Mads to the wet, so that was a step too far.
Yeah, but I don't know about you, Jamie, but straight away, for me, that's driver of the day for Burmeister.
Adams has crashed. He's out of the Grand Prix.
What? Yeah, it's 90%, so depending on who finishes in front of him, he'll get points.
Oh, yeah. Sorry about that. So he left the session too early. Yeah, that's why. So a class of retirement, but Adams will finish the podium.
He did 90%, so depending on who finishes, he'll finish behind them.
Look how wet it is on the track, though, in the space of 2 laps.
That got so bad. Yeah, that's so bad. But yeah, okay, Burmeister, you little genius. That's pretty good. That was impressive to see that. Really good to see that. Did he need to though? I don't know. Was it necessary? I don't know. What do you think, Jamie?
Sorry,
Could he have
Laser.
kept it?
So basically, Adams picked up a penalty in the turn 16 on lap 30. Burmeister was under 3 seconds already, and he could have got a P2 because Adams picked up a penalty. Then he pitted on the final lap, but yeah.
So do you think it was a bad decision?
Yeah, it
or
was.
Protecting a podium?
From what? From who?
Well, yeah, I suppose, yeah. Yeah, fair play, mate.
Yeah, I know Adams crossed the line. I just got confused. I thought he retired on the last lap, but yeah, that confused me. So, Yusuf wins, Adams P2, and Burmeister will finish in P3. From 11th place as well, the championship leader continues to extend his gap up towards the top of the field. Oliver, fantastic drive from 15th to 5th. Fantastic race for him. He went under the radar during this Grand Prix. Definitely was spicy towards the end though, because a lot of drivers had to survive on old tyres, but it could have easily gone the other way around for some people who on much older tyres could have spun at any moment or misjudged the braking point, but thankfully they didn't. But wow, so let's see then what tomorrow has to offer us. Unfortunately, I will not do any podium interviews because I am ill and my mouth is unless
Okay, I can if you want to stay streaming.
Yeah, you can then. I won't ask
Okay,
any
give me
questions.
2 secs. Give me 2 secs. I'll be there to stream. There to commentate.
But before these drivers join, I just want to say, join us back for tomorrow's race as well. The streaming won't end just yet, but join us back for tomorrow's race for Division 1 at the Singapore Grand Prix. A surprise guest is coming in for tomorrow as well. Keep an eye on him for tomorrow because he will be racing. The last time he raced, he could have finished in P4, but went out of field towards the end as well.
Okay, Jamie, if you're okay to carry on streaming while you go do whatever you want to do, I'll do podiums, mate.
Sound. I'll stay here. I'm just going to eat the rest of my sweets.
Okay, guys, so we have Yusuf Shabayak. How you doing, mate? The winner of The winner of the race tonight. How you doing, mate?
I'm all good, man. Thank you.
Mate,
Pretty tough race, to be honest.
tough race, really?
Yep. Keeping the hards at the end was really hard. I had them on from like lap 5 or 6, I think, and I was just struggling at the end, even before the rain.
Ah, okay, good stuff, mate. I mean, the hards we knew, and we said on commentary, they're good. They do wear off, but they're a good race tyre. Was there any point in that race where you thought the win wasn't possible? Because we didn't see it, but maybe you did see something different. Just tell us what you think about your ability to finish the race and whether the win was ever contested.
Alright, so at the beginning of the race, we saw that it will rain at the end. So at the beginning, we made about 4 or 5 laps on the inters, and then I wanted to put on the hards until the next rain at the end.
Yeah.
Then the rain came at the last 2 laps. So then when the rain came at the last 2 laps, I knew no one was going to catch me even if they pitted for inters because the gap was so big behind. And I knew anyone who stopped won't get me also.
Yeah, absolute monumental strategy, mate. That's amazing. Really good, mate. So
Thank you.
You dominated from the very get-go. We saw your pace was there in qualifying and the race. So I would say pretty flawless race, mate. Really is.
Thank you, mate. Thank you so much.
The only also, mate, so far we've actually chosen a different driver of the day. You dominated, but for the strategy calls, we've done someone else. I don't want you to feel like we're not acknowledging your amazing race pace and your racing racecraft in that decision. But yeah, I want to say fair play to you, mate. It's absolutely amazing.
No problem,
I
mate.
don't think we've got anyone else in the chat, Youssef. So to finish off, mate, into the next race. Oh, we have Burmeister. Just bear with us, Yusik. So, Burmeister, welcome to the chat. If you can make sure you've got your party settings set to your voice shared, that'd be amazing.
He's not in the party.
He's just joined.
Really? I don't see.
He's not here. He's not here.
Ah. I said Java 1 minute. Sorry, it's a notification. He'll be in 1 minute. So yeah, Yusek, Monza, how are you feeling about that race, that track?
To be honest, I don't know anything. I think because I play on the controller, the ones with the wheel might have a bit of an advantage, but I don't know. We'll see next week. I'm not sure, to be honest, about the pace.
You're on controller?
Yep.
Oh wow, that's impressive, mate. That's impressive. So I take it you're no TC, no ABS?
No assist, only in line.
Ah, good man. So very fast driver then. So that's impressive, mate. So how are you finding SFR so far?
To be honest, I find you admins you're really putting so much effort to make the league a very good one. To be honest, it's a very good league.
Well, thank you so much for that. It means a lot to our admins, to all our stewards and our commentators. It's really nice to hear. So I don't think we're going to actually hear from anyone else. I think Burmeister might be joining. But Youssef, if you want to go smash some champagne, club a puppy, whatever.
That's awesome.
Yep.
Hi, Youssef.
You,
it's your usual main
Andrew.
commentator. It's not, I didn't want to speak tonight, but I thought I'll do so because it'll be a bit rude not to speak to you. But yeah, I just want to say what a fantastic victory, a great control victory ever since the wet conditions. You got past your fellow friend as well, who sustained a bit of damage as well at the exit of the first stop. But you did a fantastic job controlling the race. It must have been so difficult in the final lap because the track was fully wet towards the end as well on the last lap. So well done today, mate. And it's your second win of the season. Keep it up, and I can't wait to see what happens in the next couple of races too. So yeah, nice to speak to you again.
Thank you so much, guys, and great recovery, Burmeister. Had to say that one.
Yeah, great to meet you, mate, and good job. But I think we'll meet again.
Yeah.
Mr. Burmeister, come on down. How you doing, mate?
Burmeister podcast. Good evening.
How was that race for you, mate? That must be pretty intense with how you finished, how you started in the mid pack. Give us your take on the race, mate, because that was pretty intense to see you come through the pack.
Yeah, I discussed a lot again with Rising Star last week about the setup, and we have the perfect race setup. It's not that quick in qualifying, but when tire wear starts kicking in, we're about 20% later, I think. So that's when we're gaining the most and getting our advantage, and that's what happened tonight. Whilst the tire damage kicks in at the rest, I had a lot left, and I could overtake them pretty easily. And then at the end, I thought the Inter hard wasn't possible, but I think P1 and P2 did that strategy, didn't they? Yeah. So that was And last lap, I could have stayed behind enemies and stayed behind and drive like an idiot on a wet surface with tires, but I wouldn't risk it because it's all about gathering points to gather a championship. So I'm happy with P3.
Some points is better than no points, eh?
Yeah, that's right, and I could have been behind them because at the end I had like maybe 10 laps fresher hearts than them, so I would have been quicker, and I think enemies had like 3 seconds as well, but I wouldn't take the risk because it was awful to drive.
It's really nice to see you in a league where you're really competitive against other competitors. I mean, I know we raced together last season, and it's always nice to race against you, but it's really nice to see you up there in a place like Division 2. I really like to see that. You're a great guy, you're a great racer, and I think Division 2 is really where you belong, and hopefully you are the cat amongst the pigeons that can really send it to them. So hopefully Monza is next week. How are you feeling about that?
Well, I gotta take a lot of beers upstairs then for the long straights. But thanks for all the compliments, and I really enjoy being an SFR. It's not that
We're not bad, are we, Burmeister? We're not bad, are we?
No, I know, but it's it's really good in here, and sometimes you're in leagues where you feel like you're not understanding it, and I try to race fair to everyone. I give everyone space, and I also get a lot of respect from all the drivers here in F2. Most of the times, I think like 95% of the times it's clean. You never see me in the stewards. I don't want to put anything in the stewards for any bullshit because I don't like it. Let's just talk it out.
Yeah, neither do we, mate. Neither do we.
Go on with it.
And we respect that, mate, and you're very welcome here, mate. You're very much a part of our family. You've been a staple for the last 2 seasons, mate. And it's so enjoyable to have you racing with us, mate. So thank you so much.
Thank you, guys, and Indigo as well, mate. Thanks for commentating tonight again, and also you, Dan. Great to have you also here. And thanks for having me.
Indigo's a legend. He's a legend, isn't he?
Donkey ball.
I heard they're gonna steal Indigo from us, but
no, he's not. No, he's staying.
I'm gonna stop him. I'm gonna stop him.
Well, let me clear the rumors up. I'm not leaving SFR. I'm still staying for Division 2 and Division 1. I ain't going nowhere. Don't worry about it.
Oh, vale. Very nice,
party! Person's party!
like I'm part of the family, you two guys are also part of the family, and that's what's making it great. Being a family, understanding each other, and having fun together. That's it.
But Burmeister, the love you show us, we show you as drivers that are dedicated to us. So thank you so much, mate. Congratulations again tonight, mate, and go have yourself a wonderful evening, mate. And we'll catch you next week for Monza.
Thanks, guys.
Alright, take care, guys. Indigo, I will actually send it up to you, mate, because you're back. So I'll let you finish the stream, mate.
Division 2 is over for the Singapore Grand Prix. Join us back for Division 1 in Singapore. It is Owen Malto who will be the commentator tomorrow. Next week, Division 3 and Division 4 will move on to the Italian Grand Prix. Join us back at 7:30, 8 o'clock again for Charlie Smith and Oliver Smith. Division 2 will be myself and Simo, or Energy Dan, for 7:30 on Tuesday in Monza, and Division 1 between myself and Owen Malto. But I'll be racing tomorrow in Singapore. Let's see how I do. I'll see you all later. Have a goodbye. Take care for now.